All right, we're live. Tapping Birdie, Charles Schwab Challenge. Joined by a very special last minute guest, but it doesn't matter because he's great. Chris Ebom, the creator of Rise and Fire Bets, great guy on Twitter. I'm excited to have you tonight. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. When I get the call for TIB, man, I just drop everything. I tell the wife and kids, I'm like, hey, I'm being on TIB tonight. So that's what I'm doing. Hold everything else. All right. Put the kids to bed. Let's do this thing.
There are more pressing issues at hand. Tapping
Absolutely.
Birdie, Brian Kirchner does a golf podcast every week. Like, everyone knows about it. It's like a crazy podcast. Like, when you get the call, sometimes you just have to drop some things and hop on.
Absolutely, man. I got on that bus from AAA, man. I'm like ready to go. I'm ready to do this thing, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, I mean, it should be a good week. We have a major to recap, so that's always fun. And, the field's pretty good this week, so I'm pretty happy about it. I'm looking forward to this week.
Yeah, it's kind of like I feel like it's an RBC heritage on steroids over here.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited about it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a little less juice around this event than some. I don't know. It just feels like after a major, there's like a letdown and like content and excitement, and it just I don't know. Like after the Masters, the season's still fresh, but I feel like for this event, like I don't know, maybe the excitement's a little bit lower for it.
Well, like you and me, we're always enthralled into the, PGA world. We can't get enough. We're junkies about it. But,
Yeah.
The hangover's real on major season. Like you get that hangover, you just want to relax, throw like a nice little ice pack on your head, like take it easy, take your what was that IV thing you do? What is
liquid
that?
IV. You want to just take
IV.
a liquid IV, get some food in you, take 2 Advil, and just try and nurse this major hangover. But unfortunately, we're keeping the bender going. We're having some drinks.
Absolutely. I'm having a little land shark, a little island lager. I'm changing it up a little bit, a little curveball for your show.
I respect a land shark call. It's a good light beer, flavorful.
Yeah, easy going guy.
You get it with a lime. Like it's a good beer. I like it.
Yeah, it's a nice easygoing guy. It's like I'm a big IPA guy, but I like my like little slow pitch change up. Like keep things easy. Like I like the hard hitters. I like I'm a man of many crafts. So that's
of course you can't just have one thing. I was a Heineken guy. I'm a Modelo guy. As like the kind of summers turning around, you got to change it up with the seasons.
Absolutely, man. I mean, hey, we're not gonna do the same thing every time, man. That gets stale. So that's what we're all about.
Absolutely. So as always, we're presented by BetSperts Golf. They just did the page giveaway. I wish, I won it. It's okay. We're going to hang out some other time. It's all good. And, while I might not give you winners every single week, Ryan Noonan had Willie Z, had JT, No Sweat Playoff. Join the Discord, sign up. It's a great community to be a part of, and there's a lot of great resources. So if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe as always. And we talk about the playoff a little bit. We talk about the PGA Championship. It's tough. It's tough when you have a guy lose in a playoff, when you have a big ticket on him and you really want him to win and you really don't want JT to win and he just rips your heart out. It's tough. And, that's, golf betting is so amazing because you could be in a position to hit a 40-1 winner, or you could be in a position and you have a heartbreaking loss and, unless you hedge or have an each way, you get nothing. So, that's kind of how I'm feeling about the PGA Championship. I'm a little upset and distraught.
All right, so how I feel personally, Willie Z, I bet him a lot. I didn't bet him this week, so I was more than happy to see him lose. I'm not going to lie. For myself, my personal reasons, I want to be part of the first win. I think he was going to get it this week. And then JT hitting into that rough. I was like, oh, man, Willie Z's really going to do this. And then he lays up on top of that. I was like, oh, my gosh, why is he laying up? But then Willie Z has like a really far eagle putt. It is what it is. But, hey, when it comes to golf betting, honestly, it's the best. And I know you preach it every week with your crowd and everything like that. I do it all the time. Hey, you can lay 6.5 at the Giants lane -110, but you can have a Willie Z ticket for 40-1, and that ride goes on all week. And hey, if you don't win, it's a hell of a run regardless.
Yeah, we cash the each way on it. Have to have the each way on a Willie Z bet. So we cash the each way on it. And then, I kind of got into a little discussion on Twitter yesterday, and kind of like a hot topic or whatever, like in terms of hedging and things. And I know a lot of people had Mito tickets, which was unbelievable call. If you bet Mito over 100 to 1,
God
like
bless you.
that was an amazing play and it was an amazing call, and it didn't pan out that way, but it was still an amazing bet, and it was something that I never would have done. And it just shows again how you can have these unbelievable bets. So this guy Rufus Peabody, he's a professional gambler, he's a multimillionaire. He had $500 on Mito with 300 to 1 to win 100K. Goes on this whole thing, and people are like, oh yeah, like no. I'm like, if you have a guy in a playoff or a match play, you have a guy in match play, or you have a guy where it's two guys and there's 5 strokes between the next guy, and you have a big ticket on it, and you want to hedge, there's nothing wrong with that. It, like, talking about long-term EV and profitable, it's like, people can't relate to that because we're recreational bettors. We're not professional gamblers. And you only get so many shots to have a guy in a playoff or have a guy in a 2-man race. And I don't I only recommend hedging if it's literally a 2-man race or they're in a playoff, because a lot of things can go wrong. I could have had my Willie Z ticket and, around a few holes, like it seemed like it was just going to be Willie Z or Mito. And I could have said, okay, I have a ticket to win $2,000 on Willie Z. Let me throw $100,000 on me. Let me throw $1,000 on Mito. That's not good hedging, because anything can fucking happen. But if you're in a position to just lock in money, just take it. Don't listen to some professional gambler millionaire who says, oh, well, like it ruins your long term. Like, it's just bullshit. It's just, so I hedged because I literally didn't even think Willie Z was gonna beat JT. Like I was not confident in it. Willie Z would have beat Mito, Fitz, and Cam Young in a playoff, full stop. The only player that he was not gonna lose to was JT, and that's just unfortunately how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Well, I mean, honestly, I kind of disagree with you on the Cam Smith thing, because I think he would have figured out the putter at some point, which I was super frustrated about, because he should have honestly won that tournament if he actually putted decently. The crazy thing is, so I put a thing on my poll on Chrissy Baum, and I was like, hey, I have a 2-to-1 boost. Who am I going to put it on? I put it on Cam Smith. I had a 70-to-1 ticket. And that guy could not, he had the best approach numbers all week. And the guy is known for around the green play and putting, and we don't get that. Like, it's just, it blew my mind. But anyway, though, but with the whole hedging thing, like, okay, these guys 100K bankrolls. Let's get real here. Like, we're trying to grow the game, as you say, right? So, like, people want to get into golf betting and they want to bet a couple bucks, have some skin in the game, have fun. And I think that's the most important thing at the end of the day. Like, we're not trying to, like, quit. I mean, don't get me wrong. It'd be great if I can pick winners every week and just quit my day job, because I love PGA golf and I can just sweat PGA Tour live, ESPN Plus. It'd be amazing, because, like, I already do it kind of in the meantime, but not in big stakes. But hey, but if I had JT, I probably would never have hedged. I had buddy Mitch Flat on Twitter. He's like, I have JT. I wish I could hedge. I'm in Florida. I'm like, dude, don't hedge. Don't even worry about it. If you lose with JT, then so be it. Like, I don't feel like that's a big deal. But Willie Z, for sure, if I had a Willie Z ticket, I am hedging that immediately, because, like, I mean, he doesn't have a proven record of winning, and you're going against JT, who, like, was starting to figure out a putter. And if you watched him, like, oh my gosh, this guy's actually making putts from, like, beyond 10 feet. Like, he never does that. So, like, it was insane.
So something I want to, like, kind of bring up, and it's just like, it's like kind of just like annoying, is like how much shit Willie Z gets for his putting. He was a better putter inside 10 feet than JT was. Yes, it was by 1 putt, but inside 10 feet, he had a higher percentage of hold putts than JT did. And all everyone wants to talk about is Willie Z's putting, or that 3-putt, or, obviously he missed some shorties. And if he didn't miss a single one of them, he would have won the PGA. But that's just not how it works. Every single person misses putts inside 10 feet. And I just think that his putting stroke on some shorties that, like, literally usually go in exacerbates everything. And people want to forget the fact that he made a million bomb putts on Thursday. Like, these things even out, like, a little bit. And I really wanted Zalatoris to win, because at a certain point, I want to prove kind of the haters wrong. Like, now it's just going to be more like, he can't win a major, he sucks at putting, where as if he made one more putt and he wins the PGA. Like, the conversation about him is completely different. And if JT doesn't make a 50-footer on Thursday or Friday, he's a one-time major champion. And the story is like he shot a 74 on Saturday and shot himself out of the tournament. And now it's like JT's this prolific winner. Like he's unbelievable. He has 2 major wins. It's just funny how things can easily flip on a dime. And it's just kind of how the game goes because their margins are so thin in PGA in winning. It's just, things are going to happen like that.
No, I totally agree with you. And, if you want to talk about missed putts that you need to make all the time, Jordan Spieth is known for missing like that 3-foot putt constantly.
Yes.
I saw one thing this week and he was setting up, he's doing his little waggle, he's having fun. And then the ball rims around and then comes back to him almost at his exact same spot. And I'm like, I'd rather him just miss that on Fridays because like if he's in contention, I think I was talking to somebody earlier on Twitter the week before. I'm like, oh, he already missed his 2-footer. So we're good. We got that out of the way. So that's like the weekend and everything. But I mean, Willie Z, he putted really well. I mean, all those close putts, he didn't have the yips as that you saw before where he does that little like hesitation little putt thing where he gets kind of nervous. I didn't see that, honestly. He was pretty good. So it is what it is. I mean, he's a great ball striker, right, Brian? I mean, he's great off the tee, and the guy just sticks GIRs left and right. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. He will win. I'm not concerned about him. It's the same thing. Sky Scheffler finally got his win, went on a little roll. It's like once you get that win, you feel like, hey, I can do it. And I think Willie Z is going to be that guy eventually. I'm going to make sure I'm going to get that first ticket now because I faded him at the PGA Championship. So he's going to do it eventually.
Yeah, he's going to do it eventually, but I just wish it was last week so we don't have to, continue this conversation as to, if he's going to get it done eventually. And the funny thing about it is just like he took up $1.6 million, but like, do you think he cares? Like, he literally just won $1.5 million, but like, I'm sure he would rather have the PGA Championship or like win no dollars. Like, it's tough. Like, and he doesn't need the money or anything, but I guess winning 1.6 mil like kind of dampens the blow
nice little
a little
consolation
bit.
prize.
Yeah,
you're good. But honestly, what I want to talk about with him anyway, I'm looking at like early projections for DFS. Right now, he's like under 10% owned right now, which I feel like still kind of outrageous. Like we're going to actually everyone thinks the hangover is going to be real with him. I don't think it's necessarily going to be real with him. I think he's a viable option in DFS. You're looking at him, he's 10,100. Everybody else is like at least 14, 17, 21%, like all around him. Like I would love to pivot with him this week.
Yeah. So let's get into it. Let's get into the Charles Schwab. It's at Colonial, one of the longest standing events on tour, kind of known as a shorter positional golf course like a Heritage or a Wyndham or a Sony Open. There's been a lot of crossover with the Sony Open. It's a short course, a lot of mid to short irons, only 2 par 5s, thick rough. There's been a lot of debate if it's a club down course. Jason Kokrak won last year. So I'm not going to say it's a club down course. You could still hit driver. You could still kind of overpower it in a certain sense. But, we have a good field. We have a lot of viable options down the board. And at the end of the day, someone's going to win this tournament. So hopefully we could be on them. So, talking DraftKings, talking betting, $10,000 range, kind of top of the board. We have Hovland, Zalatoris, Spieth, Collin, JT, Scheffler. None of these guys are really catching my interest. There's no one here I want to bet outright. There's no one here I'm going to bet outright. And, kind of in DraftKings, I thought maybe possibly that, Morikawa might be a pivot off Jordan Spieth because there's no doubt in my mind that he will be the highest owned golfer this week at 10-4. But I think Collin's going to be 20% because I think people don't want to play Scotty and JT.
Yeah, I mean, he's honestly my favorite guy in the 10K range. I thought people would kind of pivot off of him. It's not looking that way for the most part. I'm looking at about 17% right now for Colin Morikawa, but it's early right now, so things could shift for the most part. If I had to take a guy, I mean, you got to think about it. Colin Morikawa. He's not great around the green. He doesn't drive it far. Those are like the things you don't have to worry about this course. You got to be accurate, and the iron play's got to be great. And we all know Morikawa is nasty with the iron play. He's just a GIR machine. You could say that about Victor Hovland as well. I mean, it kind of fits. Actually, Hovland's a lot longer off the tee for the most part, but I kind of like Morikawa here. If I'm going to play somebody in that higher range, he is going to be that guy for the most part. I know guys are going to pivot off JT because of the PGA Championship and everything like that, but I like Morikawa here. He didn't really even play that bad at the PGA.
Yeah.
He was pretty much positives in all strokes gained categories for the most part. I think putting was his only downfall, but I'll ride that horse all day. Like, if Morikawa can get on that putter, like it game's over.
I'm with you on Morikawa. He's definitely my favorite play at the top. He's definitely the only person I would even consider betting him. And I think 18-1 is really a good number on him because at the end of the day, the ball striking is going to be there. He's just been putting horribly. But, last year it happened a bunch. And, he caught a hot putter and he went out and won. And that hasn't happened this year. And I think there's a good case to be made that, things could change. But, Spieth, at 12-1, like, I just don't think he's obviously unbelievable at Colonial, but I'm just not going to bet him at 12-1. And I don't know if it's that obvious to just bet Spieth at this event every single year and, hope for a winner. So I'm fine on Spieth. And again, the putting woes are a little bit concerning. JT, like, just simply off the fact that he won last week, I have no doubt that, he can't reel off a couple wins. But the week after, I'm just not sure if this is kind of his jam. And Scotty, I don't know what's like. He went on an unbelievable run, and it was certainly unprecedented for the past few years. The kind of run he went on. And I made the decision to not play him at the PGA, which I'm very happy about because he obviously missed the cut. So I'm fine missing him, and I'm just going to hope that he's just not going to be as hot as possible.
Yeah, so the whole Scheffler thing, I'm kind of disappointed about because, like, I had him in the bag, and he was playing well. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to play him in a bunch of one-and-dones. So I ended up obviously getting screwed on that. So that was really bad on my part. But back to Jordan Spieth, though. So when he played at the Byron Nelson, he was positive in strokes putting finally, and then he got a second. He still didn't win that event. So I'm with you there. Like, I think he's going to play well, but I'm not taking him outright because, like, he's shown me already in Texas that, like, the putter has done well, and he still hasn't been able to win. And he was all plus across the board on strokes gained on top of that. And now this is a pretty tough, like, field for him for the most part. So I don't know. I'm off of him. I like Morikawa at the top, and I would even pivot down to Hovland. Those are like my 1-2 right there. If you're
I think Hovland could be a good play. I mean, he's kind of had an underwhelming season. I know he had that really great result at Bay Hill, but other than that, he hasn't had too many great finishes, too many great results. So I think he's going to do a little bit, and a lot of people are talking about, and the stats are out there that, the top 10 in the leaderboard here last year lost strokes around the green. I mean, Jason Kokrak is, fundamentally a bad bunker player, and he was able to win here. So I think this is a place that you could just kind of dominate with your ball striking. So that would definitely check the box of Hovland. And again, you're getting a good number on Colin and Victor. I think those are the two plays up top in terms of outright betting that, I would go to, and that I think are viable plays there. And, we brought him up before, but Zalatoris, I don't know. Like, I think, we talk DraftKings, we talk, ownership strategies. Like, I think it would be interesting, and I will do this, but I think starting a lineup JT Zalatoris Mito, why the hell not? Like, why not? Pure ownership, pure no one else is going to play those three in a row. It's a pure just be unique, have some leverage on the field, and hope that they can carry over the form that they rode last week. I don't think that that is a likely outcome that they are all in the top 20 again. But I just think from a pure DraftKings perspective, I think that could be an interesting play.
I think it's like a public perceptive, you're like the anti-hangover kind of deal. You're just like, hey, these guys have been playing well. And like the good thing is with Will Zalatoris and Mito Pereira, they haven't won yet. So obviously they're still hungry to play. So they're going to try and get that first win. But with Victor Hovland in general, like he's like the guy of cool like trophies. He's got the chameleon. He's got all these like kind of cool things. Is like this jacket part of that kind of gig? If it is, I might have to jump in with Hovland because he is only cool trophy Bermuda kind of dude. Am I right?
I could like sitting here right now, I cannot picture Hovland in that plaid jacket. I think that's the opposite.
I have one guy in my
vibe.
head though. I have one guy in my head. He's really random, but I think he could win it.
All right, we'll get to him down the board. But Hovland in that jacket, that does not seem like his vibe.
It doesn't seem like a thing, right?
And like if you want to go, based on, some like really strong trends and, data, that is all you need to not bet Victor Hovland because he wouldn't look it in a plaid jacket. So, that's why people come to TIB is for some groundbreaking stats. Yeah. And that is that, gut feel. I just don't think Hovland would look good in a plaid jacket. So I'm not going to play him or bet him.
No, I got a guy from Texas that I really like. I think he's going to look really good in that thing. It's not Kokrak. I got a guy that's been late firing at all wills with the iron play. And I think this is his turn to win. He's not afraid to win. He's won before. He's a guy that I know he's going to rise and fire. Like, I'm not going to lie because I think he might. This actually, this is groundbreaking. All right, hear me out. Leader after first round and winner. I think this guy can do it.
Okay, who is it?
Tom Hoge.
Tom Hoge. Okay. Is that your first outright play? Who are you starting your outright betting?
I'm sorry with Tom Hoge. You know what? Because I think he actually can win this thing. I think he plays really well to this kind of course. He's accurate off the tee. He's excellent in all the buckets that you need him to be good with the iron play. The putter is always a question with him, but you know what? A lot of guys are questionable with the putter. If he can finally get hot with the putter here, he won at Pebble Beach, small greens. I think it kind of correlates to that. I think Tom Hoge can win this event, and he's not afraid of winning an event like when he won with Pebble Beach. I mean, I think this is a very suiting thing. I was sleeping last night, and I was thinking, I was like, and I saw Tom Hoge wearing this jacket, and I was like, you know what? I think this might be real. I mean, don't get me wrong. I haven't been out right in a while. Don't get me wrong, but I think I feel pretty good about it, and I might actually sprinkle the first round leader and then play him afterwards.
Tom Hoge, I think he's an interesting play this week. I think that he's pretty. I think he's halfway decent, popular this week. I think people will play him because again, it's a shorter positional course. Hoge is really good with his wedges. And, I was kind of the mindset that he kind of fell off after his win at Pebble because his results just were not that good. I know he had that nice finish the week after at Waste Management, but then he went miscut 32nd, 33rd, 39th miscut at RBC, which I think would be a good spot for him. But then he turns around and goes 17th at Byron. And then he goes 9th at the PGA Championship. He gained 7.8 on approach, gained 4.6 putting on these, southern bent grass greens. So I don't hate it. I just, again, we're talking about groundbreaking stats. I don't think Tom Hoge is going to win twice in 1 year.
Fair enough.
That's that is my biggest concern with it is that I do not think he's going to win twice in 3 months after going his whole career without winning. But he checks out.
Hold on, give me 1 second here. So did you think Kokrak was going to win twice last year?
Valid take, but I don't know. I don't know. I can't say that. It is a very similar situation.
It's kind of the same scenario. History repeats
itself a little situation bit there with Tom Hoge and Kokrak.
We'll see. But hey, overall though, I think it's going to be you're going to have to be good with the irons. I think that's the most important thing. Accuracy off the tee. It's been harped all week for the most part, but I think those iron plays gonna be big, and Hoagie's been one of those guys, and I think and his odds are kind of low. I'm not gonna lie. What is he, around the 50-1 range, or where's he at?
I think you can get him definitely higher than that.
You think you get higher than that?
Let's see. What? Let me.
All right, I gotta look on. Here, let me see.
Yeah, Tom Hoagie, you can get him 70-1 on DraftKings. He's 60.
Okay, all right. So that's all right. But I'm looking. All right. Well, I mean, I'm looking on this one thing. It says 55, give or take. It's around the ballpark.
$50.
Oh, no. I apologize. That was first round leader, which I also do like.
Okay, so Tom Hoagie, first round leader, you're vibing with.
Oh, 100%. He's on the card. And I'll tell you right now, because I love Bet365 and they give me those top 20s. They decided to, step up, show some balls and finally put it back onto the board without a big major. I was hammering them last week. No problem. Kuchar 5-1. That was easy. No problem. He was working his way around the course. Hoagie's right there. I love him there.
So does Bet365 offer the top 20 after round 1 this week?
Yeah, absolutely.
Your mortgage play whale bomb is Tom Hoagie top 20 after round 1.
Absolutely. And I believe he's at plus 280, which is the stupidest number I've ever heard.
Lock it up.
Dumb.
He was top 5 at the fucking PGA last week. You can't do it at
the guy's the first round machine. Some guys are like Billy Horschel, Sebastian Munoz. You get these guys that just roll through the first rounds. Shout out PGA tout, Flex Seal all the way. But these guys, some guys just play good during the first round. If you really want to throw a bomb, like a long shot, I wouldn't be surprised if you want to throw a Danny Lee for 110-1 because he played well at the RBC Heritage before. That might be, if you really feeling froggy and you want to leap, why not throw $5 on? Big deal. You win $550. Who cares?
Easy bet. So the guy I'm starting my betting card with, and a guy I really like this week, I'll be betting outright, top 20 mortgage play hammerlock. Right. First round leader, fine. Always just bet the guys you like first round leader. It's bound to work out eventually. I know he's decently popular, but I'm gonna play Davis fucking Riley. I think this is time to win. I think this is the week where the second PGA Tour rookie gets it done. So he's just been playing some unbelievable golf. So he's gone second at Mexico Open, 9th at Byron, 13th at PGA. And I like the fact that those are 3 very different events. And he's just competed in all of them because his ball striking has been, so profound. Mexico Open, just a bomber's paradise, Byron Nelson, Birdie Fest, and then he backs it up with a top 20 at a PGA Championship. Gained 6.4 on approach, 5 strokes off the tee. Those are just some really serious numbers. I just think that his game is in a really good place right now. And, I always like looking at, the rolling, reports, looking at guys who are trending. And he's definitely trending. 24 rounds ago, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up for the people. But his ball striking is trending, and that's what you look for in a lot of guys. Munoz was trending a little bit, Homo was trending a little bit. So a first round leader play, I think he's gonna win. I gotta fit. So, okay, we got it up. So Davis Riley, last 24 rounds, he was 48th in ball striking. Okay. Last 12 rounds, 7th. Last 8 rounds, 3rd. Last 4 rounds, 2nd. That is the definition of trending. He's trending towards a win. He's top 20 mortgage play. Love it. Davis Riley this week.
No, I like it because you know what? The worst part of this game has been around the green, and that's pretty much going to be irrelevant this week. So you're taking his weakness right off the bat, and you're just pushing that off the side. What was the number you got him to bet outright? Because I want to know that number.
I think I got a 55-1 on him on my local, but you could get him 50 wherever you want.
But honestly, though, 50 for him to win, that's really the books are a little scared. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of a low number for him.
I mean, I don't expect I think it's about fair, but yeah, I think he's trending. Books are scared. I'm done guaranteeing someone's gonna win, but he's gonna win this week. So.
But honestly, though, even with that number, you should be able to get a good top 20 number because if he's gonna contend,
I got him plus 200 top 20. Throw $200 on that. Move on for the week.
You got to
save up a little bankroll. A guy I'm kind of on the fence about, and I kind of want your take on because
Okay.
I just kind of like have given up to a certain extent, but Gary Woodland has really good results at this event the last 2 years he's played it. And he was a much worse golfer then. So he went 9th, 14th last 2 years in way worse form. And now he's coming in, he has a little bit of sporadic results, but top 40 last week at the PGA, top 25 at Mexico, has had shown some great results recently, but he's kind of fell off. But I do not think he can win. So I'm not going to bet a guy that I literally do not think can win. But what are your kind of takes on Gary Woodland?
So Gary Woodland's always known for being club down, kind of, hit the long irons off the tee. That's pretty much his bread and butter. He's had shots. The Honda Classic, I had him. He blew it. He hit that eagle putt there, and he gave me false hope, which just ripped my heart out. But I mean, if you want to play him DFS, maybe you might be able to get some leverage on him. Honestly, maybe a top 20. I mean, you got to look at what he's done as far as the approach game. The approach game's been good, right? Yeah, 2.51 on the PGA Championship. Mexico, which was pretty much a wide open fairway, so you can't really take too much into that for the most part. So that's over 3 strokes. The Masters, he was 1 stroke over. So he is gaining strokes with the approach. And at the end of the day, you want guys to really be great on approach here because guys are going to be clubbing down, which means they're going to hit more fairways. I mean, that's just the way it is. These guys are good. They're not you and me clubbing down. We're going to just shank one off the left or right. These guys, when they club down, they're making sure they're going to get to the fairway because that's why they club down. They would go driver every time, but then they're just going to hit into the woods and they're going to have to hit over a tree. So I personally would not take him outright because he hasn't really shown me enough to go outright, but he's been good. So if you want to throw him in a top 20, a top 30, get a little parlay action, build that card up, I'm all for it.
Yeah, but we're going to see on Gary. I'm not betting anyone up top. My card's wide open. I'm just betting a guys a bunch
right
above 40 to 1. It's fine. I'm not trying to bet 100 guys on. I'm not trying to bet $100 on someone this week. I'm just trying to keep it chill, not have too much exposure a little bit. But a guy I am betting outright and a guy that legitimately has never won on the PGA Tour, and I'm chasing the win. This is a pure chase the win scenario. You bet a guy that's never won before because that's more fun than betting a proven winner. And that's Harold Varner, the third. I think this could be his week. I think he could get it done this week. His best course on tour historically is RBC Heritage. I think it's a decent comp. It's a shorter positional course with small greens. I think it's a fine comp, so last 2 years he's been top 5 there. Okay, that checks out. That works. Made the cut last week at the PGA Championship, game 3.9 on approach, game 4.9 around the green. Lost a little bit off the tee, but he's got to win eventually. Why can't it be this week? I'm fine with that. So at 50 to 1, I'm fine with a play on him. He's made the cut in his last 2 appearances, gained a bunch on approach. So HV3, I'm chasing the first win, and I think it very well could be this week.
You read my mind. He's already on my betting card. I haven't put it out there yet. He's already on there for my outright, and I'm playing him for first round leader.
Done. He's on the first round leader.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, he's going to come out firing real quick. I think this. I actually do kind of believe you. I think this might be his first PGA win. He is one of the guys I'm going to have my outright card. I have about 4 guys that I like for my outright. It's HV3, Hoagie, Webb Simpson, and I can't think of the other guy off the top of my head, but I do like Webb Simpson because I think he showed a lot last week at the PGA Championship. And, RBC Heritage Monster. This is that kind of setup for him. I think he's a good guy to throw in there as well, but I really do like HV3 a lot. I will be more than happy to bet him first round, and I'm going to bet him outright too. So I'm all for it.
Love it. We're hitting that this week. I need a winner.
HV3's finally first victory. He's a dad now. Vibes are high for him. Things are fun. He just feels invincible. He's fat and jolly, just hitting iron shots left and right. I get it. That's how I was last week. hit a ton of GIRs, couldn't hit a putt. Well, besides that, it was great.
We need it for HV3.
I think we're gonna get it this week.
I'm cold. Like, full stop. I'm cold right now. Like, I'm not seeing the board well. I need a winner. I need a first round leader hit. I need an outright hit. You know, things have been kind of bleak in the BK camp, and I'm looking to turn it around because, you know, I got bills to pay. Like, I got rent to pay. Like, I got childcare. Like, you know, I got a lot of expenses, and it's tough. It's tough out here. But Webb's a major guy, dude.
No, whoa.
Webb is a major guy. He doesn't do anything in regular events. He just does it with the majors.
Wait, didn't he name his kid after the tournament over at RBC Heritage?
He named his kid Wyndham.
Oh, Wyndham. Oh, that terrible tournament. Okay,
yeah. Like, Webb, bet him. It's fine. He played.
I'll be on the board betting him. I think we're buying low on him, so I'm all aboard.
But yeah, Webb, he just hasn't shown me enough. I don't think one result of the PGA Championship is going to turn into a win at, you know, a good. Yeah, obviously he's been great at all the comp courses, but I think he's a little bit washed up, and I'm just kind of good on him. So Munoz is kind of the next guy I want to talk about. You know, a lot of chatter about the first round leader,
the PGA Tout camp.
Like, he's not gonna be like, this is the thing. I might a huge hypocrite, but I think I need to take a stand, and I'm not gonna bet him first round leader because Munoz, he's not gonna be fucking first round leader twice in 3 weeks.
No, absolutely
it's not gonna fucking happen.
Never happening.
It's not like it doesn't work like that. Like, yeah, I like Munoz. I bet him outright. Like, I think he has a fine week. I think he's been playing really well. And again, I think this is a course that suits his game. So I'll be there on an outright. But he's not fucking being first round leader twice in 3 weeks. Like, he's just not.
He's not that dude. Like, no one's that dude. That's the thing. Like, to be a first round leader takes big cojones. And like, you do it, and you're pretty much free swinging. You're rising and firing, as I like to say. You know, like, there's no will. You know, like, you don't care. You're just playing well. Like, you see a lot of randos like get that first round lead. Billy Horschel's that dude. Like, Billy Horschel, I'm telling you what, Billy Horschel top 20 after first round. Hey, who are you calling?
I'm calling Tout. I'm gonna see if he picks up. I want him to give his take on it.
Okay, I gotta wait a phone call here.
No, you like Billy Hill first round top 20?
Well, not even saying first round leader. I like him top 20 first round. Because like, he's a guy that always is in the top 5 when it comes to first round, you know, scoring and everything that comes along with that. And then even with the RBC Heritage, he's been pretty good with it as well. So, I mean, like, when I put my betting card out there, I don't put out the top 20s because not everyone has the privilege, and, you know, of being in the Garden State to like be able to bet top 20 like myself every week and cash those. I mean, that's just, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, I eventually throw them out there and be like, hey, people, top 20, Matt Kuchar, 5-1. It's there for you if you want it. And he end up being 4th. Like, there's no splitting of the bets. There's no nothing. And honestly, I was the biggest Matt Kuchar hater for the longest time due to the whole tipping thing.
Okay.
I worked in the tipping industry for a very long time, casino industry. Like, I pretty much support my family off tips my entire life. So like, I took it to heart when he was stiffing his caddy. So like, I didn't really like that much, but you know, I've been making a good amount of money off him the top 20s. He's been battling for me for the first rounds. I mean, he always gets those birdie. If you look at his scorecards first round, it goes birdie at the end because that dude doesn't want to miss a paycheck. He just gets hot. He doesn't want to miss a paycheck.
He knows there's people out there. He knows there's people out there just banking on a first round top 20.
yeah, he cares about that.
And he wants to cash it for the people. So, you know, Cooch, didn't you tweet out? You're like, why the fuck isn't Cooch playing this week?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this course fits him perfectly. It's an invitational. How does Kuchar get invited to it? Maybe rub people the wrong way. I don't know.
You know, Cooch should be in the field, honestly, but unfortunately, he's not. So, you know, we're just gonna have to move on from that. But you know, lock last week though, like absolute mortgage play lock.
Yeah, the dude, but that was like the kind of thing. Everyone talked about the distance and how it was like you need to be long off the distance. A lot of these guys like Answer and Kuchar, who are short off the tee, they proved that, no one was hitting these par fives. I mean, they're monstrous. Everyone's shooting from the same spot. And you have to just realize that everyone's shooting from the same spot. These guys are good from those buckets, from those short little shots. Kuchar, Answer, they were money. And I like Answer this week. I think this could be a tournament he could win. And but don't get me wrong, I'd never get Answer right. So leave it as it is. Him and Berger always fuck me constantly. They always do. They always do for whatever reason. So take it for what it is. I'm gonna bet Answer, ride or die with it.
I'm good on Answer. Like, he's literally had one good tournament. Like, he's been fundamentally like just not good. And then he has a top 10 at the PGA, and everyone's back on him. I'm good. I'm like good on Abe Answer. Our friend Jers was debating it in our group chat, and he's like, Jers is crazy. I don't know, listen to this, but like, he's so into like chalk and like who's most tipped. He's like, I just can't bet somebody if they're like top 3 in the most tipped chart. I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter. But yeah, if it's an Abe Answer chalk week, he doesn't always do well in those. Travelers, he came back. But he's not done great at chalk. I'd like to see a little bit more from him.
Mm-hmm.
He was fundamentally bad. Top 10 at the PGA. I'm good. It seems like an Abe Answer track, but
yeah, I'm
just
going to fall for it, but that's okay. It is what it is. But I get what yours is saying, though, because like a lot of time you look at the books. I mean, don't get me wrong. These sports books don't. I tell people this all the time. I worked in the casino industry for 12 years. I worked in poker, table games, all that stuff. These places aren't built on giving you money, and they're just setting the trap for me with Answer. But I'm going to bite a little bit. I'll bite a little bit because if I miss out on it, then so be it. I would be so mad if I missed out on it. So I'm going to take a little nibble on Answer, but I'm kind of digging that HB3 Hoagie kind of take. I think those are the guys that might do it this week. I mean, these guys are hungry. I'm all about it.
All about it. Chris has got the winners this week, without a doubt, no question about it. Some guy I'm kind of debating, but I think he's washed up, and I don't think he'll win. But 65-1 is a good number. Jay Rose, showing some life recently. Past winner at this event, won in 2018 over Brooks Koepka. Again, I'm not betting a bunch. I'm not like not betting a guy, down the board. I'm kind of freed up and can kind of do what I want, but at the same, no, because I'm going to use the same logic against Answer as Rose. Rose missed 3 straight cuts and then fires a top 13 at the PGA. Everyone thinks he's back. Not so fast. I'm looking for trending ball strikers. Davis Riley, Harold Varner, Munoz, one of those 3. Probably going to win this week. I hope they do because I really need the money.
Sure.
So, no, out on J Rose. No problem with that. Is there anyone kind of further down the board, 100-1 plus that you're looking at? You like maybe a top 40 on them? You like maybe a first round lead on them? What are your kind of thoughts down the board, kind of in that 100-1 range and below? Anyone else you want to talk about?
So I like Stuart Sink at plus 130, top 40. I think he's a guy that, plays well, like an RBC heritage. You get the narrow fairways, hit it far, work his way around. I think he's a guy that you can look at getting plus money at plus 130, but also about Justin Rose. So I was at the BMW Championship when it was at Aronimink over in PA, where he lost to Keegan Bradley in a playoff. I saw one of the greatest chip-ins around the green that I ever seen in my entire life. I was right next to him at that time. At that point, I wasn't really following PGA that much. I was just, just firing off at beers and just hanging out, being a fan and everything. But he could play really well here. I mean, you got to think a guy like him can work his way around the course. His iron play is pretty good. The putter's old question, but you know what? These greens are going to be pretty easy for these guys. There's not a lot of undulations and everything. And I think that's kind of important. This might favor kind of a worser putter, if you will. So I think Rose could be into that mix in general. So I kind of like JJ Spawn as well at plus 130. He's another guy that I was looking at that's played real well in Texas. He's won there 130. That's another guy I'm looking at. So plus money at 140 at top 40. I think that's kind of the route you got to go. And I think there's good opportunity in that lower range.
No, I love it. I like top 40 bets. I think they're great. I just kind of hate depositing money into DraftKings and into FanDuel. So I usually, stay away from those. But there's so many great opportunities in the top 40 market. And I'm with you on Stu Sink, like 1000%. Dave Tyndall, he's a European tipster. He's a great guy.
Okay.
He called Stu Sink's win at RBC last year because Stu Sink always plays well after majors, and he always plays well after majors that he has a good result in. So again, I bet him 130 to 1, just as a bomb, whatever. I'm fine with it, but I don't think he'll win because it just doesn't work like that. You're chasing something that already happened, but he's been playing well. He's gained on approach in his last 4 starts, dating back to the Valspar, which he had a 7th place finish in, 23rd at the PGA, 9th at Wells Fargo. Like, dude's a grinder, okay?
Mhm.
He's got his son in the bag, and, here's a little take for you. Here's a little narrative for you. He was in the group with JT that went on to win the PGA Championship. He was vibing. He saw what JT did, and he's like, okay, I can't win the PGA Championship, but I can win the Charles Schwab Challenge. So, Stewie Sink, top 40, top 20 to win. I think it's a good bet. I'll be there right with you, Chris, on Stewie Sink.
And honestly, though, what about the Jacket Slam? He's going to be available for that. That's another factor you have to put into here.
Yeah, I could see him in that jacket.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's already worn the jacket already. So, like, you sleeping tonight and thinking about it, it's probably already going to be in your head. So you're welcome.
No, I love it. I think he's a good play. DraftKings, I'm going to keep it light this week, but Adam Shank at $6,000 flat, I'm confused. That makes absolutely no sense to me as to why he's that low. Like, he's went 9th, 79th, 41st. Like, he made the cut at the PGA Championship. That's a lot better than, Cantlay, Scotty, they could say. And he's $6,000 flat. I don't really love a lot of people at the top of the board, so it's kind of a little different because I don't really have to go that low. But I think as a guy to just make the cut, Adam Shank's your guy at literally min price $6K.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it. So, like, I remember my boy seeing the Jod. I watched him talking about, the breaking out the DFS and everything. He's like, Adam Shank, he's at $6K. He's like, what the heck? The dude's an absolute monster on bent grass greens, putting. I mean, the performance has been really good as well. If you're looking at driving, the only problem I have with him is his driving distance is not that great. He's about 50% on the driving distance for the most part. But the putter's been pretty hot. The approach game has been good. I mean, I get where he is in that 6K range. Maybe he shouldn't be just 6K, but maybe like a 7,000. But you know what? He's really good on bent grass greens. And if it's going to come down to putting at the end of the week and he's in GIRs, you could cash you big, at least on DFS point.
Yeah, love it. It's a play for me. I think you probably will have a little bit of ownership because I think people are getting there, and I think people are just confused as to his price. So I think that checks out. But again, great pod. I'm glad you came on, TIB. I see you got a Ping hat on. Are you like a Ping loyalist? Like, what's your relationship to Ping?
So I'm not sponsored by Ping, unfortunately. I would like to. So my driver and my Woods and my hybrid are all Ping.
Yeah, they're good clubs.
So I have the G, what is it, 425? The last year's with the red and the black. So
yeah, G410. I have the same.
The 410. I have the 410. I love them. I'm terrible with the driver, but they make me a lot better. The wood, I like the hybrid better than the fairway wood personally. I hit that a lot better. I would like to eventually get the ping irons, honestly, but
Yeah.
we'll see. For the most part, I'm in the market for new irons, so we'll see.
Yeah, just buy them. Like, just get them. Like, you'll play better.
I
Like,
know I'm due. It's been a long time, so
but like after we hit Munoz first round leader and outright this week, it should be pretty easy to be able to buy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what I mean. My daughter's in the background, so don't mind.
Does she want to give a shout out?
Hey, do you want to say something? No, you're being shy. No, you don't want to say anything. All right.
She's gonna listen to TIB later. Like,
yeah, she'll get the recording later. Everything will be good.
And her picks this week: Stewie Singh top 40. She likes Munoz first round leader.
Yeah.
And she likes Webb. Top 20.
Yeah.
So, her picks are big. You should tell her. She knows what she's doing, and she's a big TIB fan. So go check her podcast.
Everything's live here, so that's the most important thing at the end of the day. So everything's going haywire. I appreciate you having me on, though, which is fantastic. I've been waiting for this day.
You deserve it, Chris. I'm glad you were able to come on TIB. It was a good night. Little bit of a letdown tournament and spot, but money still spends the same if we can find a way to hit a winner.
Absolutely, it's all about Hogan HV3 this week, so let's do it.
Yeah, I appreciate everyone who checked it out. I appreciate you for coming on, and we'll see you next week for the Memorial. Everyone have a great night.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.